Hey everyone, hope I got this set up right. I'm just going to try to pull this up on my screen so that I make sure that I'm sharing it correctly. Because sometimes I think I have it and it looks all right. So I thought I would paint up another Heroscape model, Queen Wyrion. And also, I wanted to just maybe take a peek at this Crisis Protocol. I haven't played this game yet. It's something that I've kind of gotten interested in the last, I don't know, couple of weeks. And for Black Friday, I picked up the core set. And now for Black Friday, I was picking up some of the extra miniatures that I wanted. And since the Lizard's one of my favorite villains, I definitely had to get this set here. So, but I think I'll start off painting up the Heroscape, and if people jump on, they want to talk about Crisis, we'll do that. We'll take a look. Maybe we'll build the miniature then. But yeah, so maybe we'll get some painting done. There's always painting to be done, I guess. This mini here don't look too bad. Looks like some purples, black, silver. That's about it. So it shouldn't be too bad. Maybe we can get it all finished up in this session. I started using a wet palette. Something new for me. Usually I just have an old palette that I've been using for years, and I scrape it off and when I'm cleaning it. But I thought it was time to try this out, and I gotta say I'm pretty happy with how the wet palette works. So I'll start off here with the silver. I'm going to start with plate mail metal. You'll hear some crunching in the background. My dog is nearby chewing on his chew toy. But I don't know if you can hear it or not over over the mic or not, but it's fine. All right, I started off priming this one. I like this one here. I thought it was kind of cool. It puts me in mind of like a drow with mechanical wings. I kind of like that. I thought that was really neat how they did this one. So I'm kind of anxious to see how this paints up. As I said, it don't look like a complicated model. So it shouldn't take too much to get this one finished up. And I'm starting off with the silver here first, because I figure if I make any mistakes, the wings are black, the feathers are black rather, so it won't be too difficult to make corrections. And I can go relatively fast on the metallic parts. This one's interesting. It looks like a lot of, well, I might mess up, okay. Because to be honest, until I started really looking at the card and realized the name is Queen, I actually thought that this was a guy. So while I'm painting, if I say he or she, I really mean she. But sometimes as I'm just blabbing along, I kind of forget what I'm even talking about. Oh, hey, Tales of Valhalla. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. I'm kind of new. I'm new to the Heroscape community. I know that you guys have been creating for quite a while, but I tell you what, I kind of got into the models, and I love their sculpts. I love their miniatures. I mean, the game I haven't really gotten to play too many games. I've got a few under my belt, but I enjoy the models so much. They're really fun to paint. I'm actually having a blast with getting them painted up. It's like I like that. Yeah, yeah, they're all nice. Yeah, I like that they're kind of each one's unique. It's not a lot of army building, or you're not painting the same sculpt over and over and over. And each one's pretty interesting. They're not super complicated to paint, and I like that. You can just kind of sit down and get a few of them done. But I tell you what, I've really become a big fan of the game. I'm not I guess I'm not up on all of the lore. I see on your channel, you get into a lot of that, and it's way more than what I know. So it's always fun to learn. Making an attempt to paint some Iron Lich. Oh yeah, yeah. I just posted a video about the Wraith Riders recently. They came out real nice. I enjoyed painting them. Instead of using yellow, I kind of did a gold color, which I think, in my opinion, they came out nice. And I got the Lich all painted up too. I I just need to get that video out. I have all the footage and everything, and I have them completed. I just need to put the video together. Yeah, not live. Yeah, well, I mean, everybody painting live now, everybody can see just how sloppy I actually am when I paint. I can't really edit out all of my sloppiness. I'll have to do my corrections live. But that's the thing with painting these, and I tell people that, if they're starting out or you're afraid to paint them, just keep going, because sometimes you put the base colors on and they don't look nice. Like, it looks terrible whenever you get the base coats on. But as you just keep working them and just kind of, like, they just kind of come together after a while. It's amazing how they end up coming out. Made a mile more within the animation series for a long time. A little bit of Heroscape lore, some masters. Oh yeah, you know way more than what I do. As I said, so far, I've just really been enjoying the painting aspect of it. I want to try to get more games played. But just time and everything adds up. I better use my. Yeah. Do you usually buy the pre-painted figures, or do you paint your own usually? I can't remember who actually posted a video recently. They got the pre-painted figures, and they actually didn't look too bad. I was pretty impressed with them, actually. So I mean, for people that don't want to paint them, I mean, that's certainly an option, and they don't look too bad. I should have almost used a darker purple for the pants here for this portion, but I think it'll come out all right. Or I could have done a base coat or a base layer of pure black and then went over it with this purple. But I think maybe if I put a dark wash on it, it should tone it down some. Give me the color I'm looking for. As I said, the base colors are always it looks terrible, and I could see where a lot of people probably quit or give up on miniatures once they get the base coats done. But the more you keep working them, it eventually works out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really enjoy the painting part, so I get I like to paint my own. But then it's like they start piling up. They start piling up. But I actually have fun painting these guys because, as I said, they're all kind of unique. So you never feel like you're painting the same miniature twice or anything. Yeah, I agree. I think painting is very relaxing. Um, I mean, sometimes it can be frustrating, but at the same time, it's like when I sit down and I really start painting and really get into it, it's like I just zone out and time just flies by. Like it's amazing to sit and paint for an hour or two, and it just flies by. It's like, oh man. All right, I think for the face, I think I'm going to do a flesh color, and then I'm going to do a wash with purple, with this purple wash over top of it. Actually, I could have just maybe done this on the pants and stuff too. But we'll do a skin tone, and then come over that with the purple. Oh, actually, I have this too, this purple tone. Maybe I'll use that for the skin. Yeah, it's just so funny to me as I keep saying, that just putting the base colors on these, they look so terrible until you just keep working at them, put more layers on the washes, the dry brushing, and they really come together then. Yeah, I gotta let the dog out. I'll be right back in 1 second. Oh, for dry brushing, yeah, yeah, dry brushing, it's extremely handy. You can bring out a lot of detail very quickly with it. I used to dry brush a ton. Uh, I'd kind of almost go over the entire model with a dry brush to highlight. And I mean, they looked fine, but I don't use it quite so much anymore. Now, like when I do these feathers, I'll probably do a dry brush on them because I'm not the best at painting feathers. But I think a dry brush will be a nice, easy way of bringing those out. So, and actually, just looking for the black paint. Oh, and I'm just going to do her wings in this black. I said I might have to do something. I think I might have used too light a purple for that armor. I might have to darken that down somehow. Put a dark wash on it or something. It's also a lot harder to paint on camera. Like, if I'm just painting normal, I can hold this up real close to my face and just paint that way. Painting on camera, I have to kind of hold it away and keep it enough underneath the phone and everything. It makes it a little more difficult. And those metal spokes, I might have to come back in and clean those up after I get this black coat down. But that's fine. I mean, almost always on painting, I have to go back in and do a lot of cleanup. Not a lot, but some cleanup. It's no big deal. I'm anxious for the I can't remember the name of the queen bug and all the other ones that are coming out soon. Now those look like really cool miniatures. I'm excited to see those. What's the bug's name? Queen. Oh, darn it! Now I gotta check. Queen Maldrich. Yeah, Queen Maldrich and the Festering Honor Guard. I'm excited to get those. I think they're gonna be fun to paint up. And I kind of like them. They put me in mind of I like 40K. I like the Tyranids, so they kind of remind me of them. And I'm just kind of slopping this black paint on. I'm not being super careful or nothing with it. I'm just trying to get these covered because I'm going to do a couple layers of dry brush over top of them. So we don't have to be super neat and careful with this. Try not to hit that hair too much though, because that's going to be like a white. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the 40K lore. I mean, I love the story in it. The models, I mean, I love the models and stuff, and I like painting them and everything like that. They get a little pricey though. But the Tyranids especially are an army where, you have to paint a ton of the same miniature over and over. I mean, they're like a horde army. Trying to see the spokes here. I gotta say, one of my favorite Heroscape miniatures that I've painted up so far is Rockcha. In my opinion, he kind of looks like a Wendigo with the deer skull and the antlers. Like that was actually my first one I painted up, but it's one of my favorite ones so far. I just really like the undead look of them and everything. Trying to see. Looks like I might have missed some armor down here. Looking at the card, it looks like these are armor plates here. Hey, yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. It was good talking to you as well. I appreciate you stopping in. I need to figure out a way of, you know what? Maybe I'll use that purple swarm speed paint on this purple part here. And maybe that'll help darken it down some. I think that's what we'll try to do. And then it looks like these straps are more like a dark gray. So I think we'll do that. And then I think just to add some color to it, I might put I know like the trim on here is the bronze or the gold. So we'll use that. And then I might end up putting that same gold or bronze in here as well. So yeah, all right. First, I'm going to try putting this speed paint over top of the other purple and see if this will darken it down some. And I know I said in my one other video, like, I don't always use speed paints correctly. I don't use them how they're meant to be used a lot of times, but sometimes I can get some cool results out of them. Like sometimes I almost use them as a wash, and I know that's not the correct way to use them, but hey, if I can get some good results out of them, I just use them, you know. It's looking it's a little bit darker. I might have to go over this with like a black wash or something to bring it down more. And yeah, as I was saying, I am certainly not an expert on Heroscape lore. I can hardly pronounce the names. So if I say anything incorrectly about Heroscape, no offense. I'm a total noob at the whole Heroscape community, but I do enjoy painting their miniatures. So, oh yeah. Okay, there we go. We're getting there. We're getting it a little darker now. On there, it's almost like a black, but I didn't want to go too much black. I want a little bit of color in there. So yeah, it's getting there. Yeah, I think we're all right. All right. And now for the skin tone, I think I'm going to use this purple tone over top. As I said, this mini skull looks like a flying drow. We'll see how this purple wash comes out on the face. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it's still light enough to stand out from the armor parts. I don't want it to match so it looks like, her skin, or her, that the armored part's also her skin tone. Oh no, I think it's okay. It's not quite purplish enough. All right, I might have to switch. I think I'm gonna actually have to paint purple on the face. I thought maybe I could get away with just a wash, but I don't think that's gonna look quite right. I'm not crazy about that. See if I can get rid of some of this moisture so that I can paint it. Yeah. And that's what happens. And, as long as you use thinner coats, it's easy to just go right over top and make your corrections. As long as you don't use super, if you use super dark colors, then it's a little more challenging to go in and make your corrections. But that looks a little bit better. That's definitely more purple. That matches the card art a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm going to paint this hair gray, put a base coat of gray down on the hair, and then we will bring it up to white. Use Mechanicus gray on this. And this is pretty dark. It's okay. Yeah. All right, well, let's get this down here. If you hear any wild screaming, it's my son playing, I guess, Siege, the new season came out for Rainbow Six. All right, I think. You know what? Actually, this gray will be good for these straps. So I think I'm going to go in and start picking these guys out. So. Switch brushes. You'll probably see I use brushes until there is like no hope left for them. I use them as much as I possibly can. I don't know why. I mean, I have new ones sitting ready to be opened, and I will use them until they are fraying like crazy, and until I can't, like, I mean, until it's impossible to use them anymore. I don't know if that's being thrifty or being cheap, but then once they do fray up so much, then they make good dry brushes. So and got some straps under the arms. I'm half tempted to paint that right there and silver. I think I will. It looks like silver armor. I can't really tell from the card art if those are like silver armor, but I think I'm going to paint them up as silver armor. Yeah, I think they're bracers. Or at least that's what I'm going with. Yeah, that looks fine. I mean, it works out. All right. I think it's time to, and let me clean this last part up here where I touched over with the black. That's what I mean. If you, if you want to start painting and stuff, don't be afraid. You can always come back in and fix your mistakes. All right, I think I'm going to use this bronze. I love using this bronze. It covers up so well, and it's still yellow enough to look like gold. So I think I'm going to use this on the trim. I've been using speed paints quite a bit for the trim. Or, I'm sorry, I've been using speed paint gold a lot. I've been loving it. It actually covers extremely well. Oh, I forgot. She's got some straps right there. I got to hit with that gray. Well, that's one thing too. As I said earlier, I started using a wet palette, and I mean, I've known about them for years, but I just kind of started using them, and they're fantastic for keeping your paints viable, from keeping them from drying out. Like, I mean, you can come back in a day and you can still use the paints. So it actually makes it really nice just putting a tiny daub out there, and it's going to stay wet so that you can kind of come back to it and use it again. So you don't, you're not wasting a lot of paint. And I'm just picking out the trim here in this gold color. Well, this is bronze, but I tend to use it a lot for gold when I need it. It looks like that's all the gold she has. I think I might paint this emblem gold too, just to add a little bit of color up here. It's a little too much silver on silver. Break it up a little bit. Let me hit these straps before I forget about them. Okay. Having a hard time seeing them. It's funny, these bright lights they make it nice, but at the same time, sometimes they make it a little difficult to see exactly what the heck you're painting. It's like my eyes get too burned down in the light. Oh, wait, am I missing? It looks like gold trimming through here too. Huh. Yeah, it looks like this edge on her cloak here is gold. Inside silver though. That's gold. This is gold. I'm trying to think of how I want to do the back of this. Like, I'm trying to think of how I want to do the back. If I want to do the inside of this gold, or do I want to do the outside of them gold? Like, I'm not sure how they intend the back of this to go. I'm trying to see in the card art, but it doesn't show the back. I mean, I got this gold here going down, but I'm not sure how to take it around back. Let me think here for a second. So I'm thinking about maybe painting the insides of these with that gold, and then leaving the trim on the outside. Paint that. All right, I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll paint the inside of these gold. I don't know if that's right or not, but we're gonna go with it and see what happens here, how it looks. It just needs a little bit of color back here. I know that, or a little bit of something different. Can't leave it all silver. Then maybe we'll come back and then we'll work on the hair. Yeah, I don't think that looks bad. I think it's fine. I think that's what we're going to go with back here is this gold. Yeah. Yeah, this is looking fine. Easy to paint. It's just in these inside these lines here a little bit. Now, I haven't made up my mind as far as the expansions coming out for Heroscape. I haven't 100% decided if I want to pre-order from from the company or if I want to get them from my local game store. I always like to support my local game store. But there's that cool model that they're giving away if you pre-order from the company. So I'm a little torn on what to do. I think I'm going to stick with my local game store though, and I think I'm going to stick with them, supporting them. All right, I think I'm going to start dry brushing that hair. Try to bring it up white. I'll use this Brain Matter beige. Start off bringing it up a little bit. And let's see here. Use one of my old brushes that I keep around just for dry brushing. You know what? I might actually end up having to almost paint this and then do a wash over top of it. I don't know if this dry brush is going to work so much on it as I was hoping without getting it all over the other parts of the model. Yeah, you know, we'll paint it and then we will do some dark washes over it. And then putting a wash on, it'll let it get down into all the recesses and darken it up. This figure really reminds me of a drow with the purple skin and white hair. And I don't know. I mean, maybe reading the card it might say that too. I don't know. I'm not very good at reading the cards and all the backstories on these. I just look at the models, I like them, and I want to paint them. And then I catch myself like falling off on the lore and what the actual characters are and everything. But now I feel like I need to keep buying all the expansions that are coming out, uh, just so that I don't fall behind on them. It's it seems like the old Heroscape stuff, you know, that's now out of print before they brought it back, like all that stuff really went up in price. So I collect a lot of figures, a lot of like SH Monster Arts, the SH Figure Arts, Dragon Ball figures, and such. And, you know, if you don't get them when they come out, the aftermarket price is crazy. It's like, I'm not doing that. So I've learned even if I kind of question something like, oh, do I really want that? Do I really need that? I end up going ahead and pre-ordering it and getting it. I mean, you can always resell them. And that's what I catch myself doing now with the Heroscape. So it's like I want to make sure to get them. So I'll probably definitely pre-order. then it's just finding time to get them painted as well. Because even to do the videos and such on the Heroscape, which I enjoy doing them, but doing the videos always takes time, doing the editing and such, and filming them. Well, and as I was saying earlier, filming them, painting on camera takes a lot longer than just me off camera just painting away. Yeah, I think the hair will be just fine. We do a little bit of a dark wash on it. I think it's going to end up being just fine. Oh, and I'm sorry. Sometimes I drift off camera. Like, we were talking earlier, it's like you get in the zone and just start painting and you forget about stuff. That's what happens is I catch myself drifting like off camera. All right, I think that is it for the base coats. Let me touch his face just a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and now I'm just going to probably put a dark wash over the vast majority of it. I see some of the hair I didn't get into here. Let's see if I can get down in there, get that covered a little bit better. Yeah, I see a spot in here. Even this brush, I've been using it for so long and it's slowly starting to fray away. So I ordered some new brushes for Black Friday anyway, so it's time to change them out. All right. I think I'm going to do a Nuln Oil. Try to darken this down a little bit, the metallic parts and the purple parts here. I'm going to go a little heavy on it. Try to really darken this stuff down. While that's drying, I might be able to do a dry brush on the wings. I might have to wait. I'm not sure on that. And I might even use this over the hair too. If the hair is dry enough, I might put this right over the hair. And then we'll use some streaks to bring it back. I don't really want to touch the face with this black wash, but the rest of it I do. I'm going to go heavy on it, but I'm going to try not to let it pool or anything like that. Into the spear, it almost looks like there's a white crystal there. So I might see what I can do with that. I'd like to get into making some terrain for Heroscape. I'm just not sure. It looks like, I'd have to use some tiles. I was trying to think of a way not to use the tiles. Because I hate to, I don't know. I just hate to use my tiles for stuff. But I'd like to make some terrain that I could, put on the board. I thought about just buying some of the like icebergs, some of the trees and such. I'm going to go over that hair with this wash. I'm just not going to go as heavy with it. I just hope that it's going to seep down into the recesses of it, the lines of it. And I'm going to have to come back and re-highlight it. But that's fine. I'll probably use the side of a brush to highlight it so that it doesn't hit the recesses and the lines. It'll leave the lines in there. And here I'm just kind of soaking up some of the wash that's pooling, or as it's standing up, it's like kind of dripping down some. Try to get that out of the way. Because if you leave it on there, it'll almost like, it'll like crack on there. It's kind of weird. So I try not to let it pool too much, because then you actually have to go in and fix it. But yeah, I mean, you could stop there if you wanted to. This is fine for tabletop quality. I mean, I think it looks pretty cool like this. A little bit of wash, and once that dries, you could just let that go. I'd be careful putting the red eyes on it, which I will whenever I go to put them on. I'll be very careful with that. But I want to go and I want to dry brush the wings when everything's dried up here. And I want to highlight the face a little bit. I don't think I'm going to add too many other highlights. Maybe a little bit of shininess to the silver to bring out some of the edges and the highlights on that. The hair, you know, definitely. But for now, I think this is where I'm going to stop with this one and let it dry up a little bit. Because you go trying to dry, well, I mean, you can't really do anything with it when it's wet like this. You'll just get that black wash in anything that you're trying to do. Here I'm just, again, just soaking up a little bit of the excess wash on it. But yeah, I think actually, as I said, you start doing these base coats on them and they kind of look like crap, but then you keep working it a little by little and they actually end up looking like something. Like, it's kind of a cool process. Like, I'm kind of happy with how this is looking. Just going to use a little bit of that dark purple wash to hit the eyes. Put some shading in the eye section there. Maybe a little too much in that one. Yeah, I'm liking it. I like it. All right. Maybe for a few minutes I'll take a look at the while this is drying, because there's nothing more I can do with that right now for a while. I might open this Marvel Crisis and take a look at it. As I said, Lizard's one of my favorite villains. This is another game where I'm buying all this stuff and I'm going to start, I'll paint all these models, I'll put all this time into getting it together, and I'll be lucky if I get to play a game. It just, that's like what happens with so many different games I pick up. Take a quick look at the cards. I haven't opened this at all. I was also looking, I did pick up Carnage as well. Another villain that I really like from Spider-Man. And I was looking for Venom too, because Venom's one of my favorites. Oh yeah, Lizard. That's cool. And Kraven's cool too, but Lizard's my guy. I'm excited to get this one painted up. Yeah. These bases, see, I'll have to check and see. I'm not real up on I'm not up on how to play the game yet. So I need to check and see, like, I see that they give you a couple of different bases here. There's the larger ones, the smaller ones, and that's what I don't know if you're supposed to use the smaller ones or the larger ones. Or if there's a way maybe I can magnetize them in case I need to use either one. Well, there's the Craven Sprue. He's going to be fun to paint up. That's going to be cool. There's the lizard. Face. Oh, it's like they gave him saliva in there. Those little tiny, oh my gosh. Oof. Those are some delicate parts. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sewer water is going to be fun to paint. Than him. I like any kind of lizard, reptile kind of character. It's usually my favorite of them all. Like, because Warhammer, when I was painting it, or Warhammer Fantasy, when I got started, my starting army was lizardmen. Yeah, this is gonna be cool to paint. But oh my gosh, look at that like drool, how delicate that is in there. That's crazy. The rest of the model, though, I mean, it looks really nice. I just don't know. I'm not sure about the bases, though. That's something different. I'll have to see like why there's two different size bases. I'm a total noob when it comes to this game, so I don't know any of that. Yeah, all right, well, been streaming for a while. I think I'll quit there. Maybe next time, you know, if people say that they're interested in Marvel Crisis, maybe I'll build this or do some painting on it. So I'm looking forward to starting that. But I hope that you enjoyed watching me paint up Queen Quirion. I hope that you enjoyed watching me paint a little bit and hanging out. And I eventually want to get all of the Valkyries all painted up before the new expansions come out, because then it'll just get buried in even more. So, but yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching, and I will see you soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.